Hello and welcome to Building on a Budget, where we look at building scale models without breaking the bank. Now, as today, as I'm recording this on the 5th of July, the much delayed 2020 Formula One season finally got underway. I thought that we would have a look at reviewing the contents of this. Now, it's not a current Formula One car by any stretch of the imagination, but it is quite a significant one. The Renault R23 was the Renault from the 2003 Formula One season, their second year after the rebranding of Benetton, and it marked the debut of future two-time world champion Fernando Alonso. So, as you can see here, this is the 1/24 scale Renault R23 by Revell. This was a kit that came with just the model. It says on the side that it glues and paints weren't supplied, they were extra. As you can see here, there were a few other contemporary cars that they also produced. Sauber, Ferrari, Williams, BMW, Toyota, and the 2000 Jordan. Out of these I've only made the Jordan, but they do have considerably more detail than some of the late 90s Revell Formula One cars. Not quite up to the standard of Tamiya Formula One cars, but those are at a larger scale as well, being 120, so that does make quite a difference. Now, I bought this online. As I do with many of my kits, it's a very hard to find kit. I actually bought it from a Spanish auction website called Todo Colección, and which I think I'm probably saying wrong. I found this by looking at images on Google and of the car, and came across it kind of accidentally. But yeah, it is quite a hard kit to find. You can see on the side there are images there of how it looks. It says, yeah, true to original front and rear spoilers, detailed wheel suspension, true to original underbody including diffuser, separate seat, true to original wheel, rims and seats, authentic decals for the R23 and both drivers in the version used at Magny-Cours in France. A lot of these Revell Formula One kits I've noticed are based on the French Grand Prix, because alcohol and tobacco sponsorship has been banned in France for a very long time, and you can see the colour there of their title sponsor, but no logos. You can get aftermarket decals for that should you wish. Right, so we'll have a talk first. So, as I've said before, the 2003 season was quite significant. It marked the debut of Fernando Alonso, who took over from another future F1 world champion, Jenson Button, who moved on to BAR. The other Renault driver was Jarno Trulli, and they had a pretty impressive season. Alonso actually scored poles at both Malaysia and Hungary, and in the Hungarian Grand Prix he went on to win, marking his first win, and of course he would go on to win the championship in 2005 and 2006. I really love the colours of this Renault in particular. I always thought the Benettons had very interesting colours. Sometimes they were a little bit on the messy side, mixtures of colours and sponsors and things, but I think the blue and the yellow of this just really, really striking. And it obviously means a lot to Alonso, because he still uses those colours on his helmet even till today. Right, so as you can see from the condition of the box, it's a little bit beaten up. This kit is pretty old. I also found a sticker on the side. I looked this up. This company was a model company in Spain, and it is now defunct. So yeah, that's interesting. We'll open it up and take a look. So, in spite of the quality of the box, you can see when you open it up that actually this is pretty much perfect. The wheels in there even still seem to be sealed. The instructions here, we'll look at that in a moment. So yeah, we've got, I think it's 4 screws in a body. We'll have a look at what it comes with. I'm hoping this to be the next kit that I make. Yeah, so there's the bodywork. Pretty well defined. You can see a few slots, because obviously this was the beginning of the period where teams put on all those little aerodynamic fins. Little bit of sanding need there on some of the mould lines, but that's not too bad. Yeah, okay. Only a couple of clear parts, the kind of the rear light and the kind of visor of the cockpit there. The sprue here, which is mainly parts of the front and rear spoiler, a few other aerodynamic parts. As you can see, they're all coloured in white, unlike some of these other Formula 1 cars where the plastic is the body colour. This one is entirely in white. I need to prime some of this, and then you've got 2 more sprues here. So this one, yeah, some of the suspension parts, the driver's seat. Probably can't see that very well, can you? Yeah, got the exhaust. That I think it's called the snorkel. It goes on top of the engine. V10 engine parts there. Wheels, steering wheel, the floor with the plank, which actually has a wood texture to it. The sides of the block there. Yeah, so quite nice and detailed. It's interesting. I always find it very interesting. A lot of these Revell Formula 1 kits have detailed engines. Interestingly, the Jordan I showed you before didn't, but they have a detailed engine, but then you completely cover them up. There is no way to then open them up, which seems a little odd. And yeah, these are sealed, and 4 of the grooved tyres as they were at the time, and they used Michelin tyres, as you would expect from a French team like Renault, even though they were based in Enstone. They still are based in Enstone in the UK. Okay, so we've got the instructions here. As you can see, a little bit of a story of the car there in English, and there in German as well. This was printed in Germany. Safety details, things like that. The colours that are required. So, you know, aluminium, semi-gloss black, silver. This mixture of semi-gloss black and steel or iron, which I've used in the past to kind of simulate carbon fibre. Obviously you can use carbon fibre decals if you've got it, but I think it works quite well. Steel, what's that? Tank grey matte, yellow gloss, light blue gloss, white gloss, black gloss, mixture of night blue gloss and black gloss, and ochre brown matte. Yeah, so you can see there's the image of some of the parts. I'll look at the decals in a moment. Decals. Yeah. The guide goes on like that. I won't go through all the step-by-steps. I'm hoping that I'll be able to record myself building this. And as you can see here, the different layouts for whether you wanted it to be Alonso or Trulli. As far as I can tell, the only difference is that Alonso was 8 and Trulli was 7, and there's a little name badge just above the seat. But yeah, on the nose, that is the only number on the car. No numbers on the rear wing, which seems odd, but yeah. Okay. So finally, we'll have a look at the decals. Now these are pretty good quality when you consider that I mean, if this kit was new when it came out, it's 15, 16 years old. And you can see these were printed by Cartograph in Italy, so they are very crisp, very clean, and yeah, very nice. Some of the white ones there. A lot of these smaller ones, like the numbers and things, will go over the yellow, so we'll have to make sure that those go down nice and flat. Talking of some of the colours and things like that, as I've said in one of my other videos, I don't have an airbrush. It's one of the things that I would find difficult, because small house, small children, and all, of course they're expensive. So I use rattle cans, spray cans. I'm going to be using this light blue gloss enamel from Wilkinson here. It's not an exact match, but it's pretty close. In fact, I don't think the camera's really doing it justice here. But yeah, that should look pretty nice. I thought about using their yellow gloss to do the yellow decals, but I thought that it's quite an unusual shape, so I'm going to use the decals instead. But what I will do is, for some of the things such as the air intake with this dark blue, I'm going to use this Plasticoat, which says Project Enamel. It's not, it's acrylic. I got that from Hobbycraft, but I'm pretty certain that's available in lots of places. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to making this. Okay, I'll like, share and subscribe, and thanks. See you soon. Bye.